Ok, donc bienvenue, bonjour. Aujourd'hui, c'est le mercredi 9 décembre. Before getting started, I just want to give you all a few announcements. I did finish grading the letters for those who have been submitted, and I was really blown away. I was really, really impressed. There was a range, as there always is, but I was really impressed by the kind of the bar. I think for those who completed the worksheet, the slides and the workshop, it seemed like that worked really, really well. And I felt like that was a very useful tool for y'all. I still look forward to hearing in the reflections what y'all thought of it. But I can just tell you, like, just looking at the letters, I was really impressed with the consistent quality of your expression in French. And I was especially impressed by people who used slightly longer sentences. I asked you to push yourself to use and to connect ideas, and y'all did a really good job of executing that. And there were a few people, as there always are, who went above and beyond, and who I was very, very impressed. I made sure to leave comments in Canvas, and who used words like mais and pourtant. Again, that wasn't a requirement. It was just an extra thing. So for those of you who did that, well done. For those who didn't, think about incorporating that, all right, moving forward, because those are really powerful small words that can go a long way. So I guess just generally, I just want to say generally well done. Y'all did really, really well with that. So grades are now up to date in PowerSchool. Parent, student, family, teacher conferences, I don't know quite what to call them, are coming up pretty soon. And that's a great time to check in. If you're struggling, if you're enjoying the class, if you would enjoy the class more if I did something a little different, that's always a good thing to check in about. But with family teacher conferences, that's an especially good time. So I'll be reaching out to some folks, but feel free to reach out on your end too. Feel free to reach out on your end too. I'm always happy to meet with y'all and talk to y'all, find out how I can better support you. So I think that's it for announcements. If you have questions about your grade, please, please, please get in touch. I know there were some folks who didn't complete the asynchronous lesson. If you want to, you can go ahead and let me pop into student view so you can kind of see it. I reorganized things just a little bit, not really reorganized, but I guess I introduced more things. So if you go into Canvas and you go to modules, you've got overview and resources. You've got Welcome to French 2. You've got all of Unit 1, which we just finished. All right. So if you're looking for the asynchronous lesson for Unit 1, it's right there. If you're one of the folks who didn't complete it, you can complete it, and I'm happy to change your grade. And then Unit 2. So we're starting Unit 2 now. All right. And so you can look at, this is what we're going to be doing in class today, and then the standards. All right. So you can look forward to seeing more and more things come up in here as we get further and further with the unit. Okay. So these are objectives for today and tomorrow. So today and tomorrow, I'm gonna try to make sure that y'all can generally identify your style in French, express it, and say, okay, well, this is my style. And we're going to be working on a video too, and hopefully y'all will be able to understand the gist of the video. You can understand some or most of what's said. Ok, so let's start off with the échauffement, quel style? Et puis je vais expliquer un peu module 2, donc je vais l'expliquer. Et puis on va faire une petite activité, qu'est-ce que tu portes? On va visionner une vidéo et puis répondre à des questions, et puis pour demain. Ok, donc quel est ton style? Donc quel est ton style? Si vous voulez répéter à la maison, quel est ton style? If you want to practice some pronunciation at home, try practice saying that. Quel est ton style? Quel est ton style? Quel est ton style? Donc, j'aime porter des vêtements. So does anybody remember what kind of styles we looked at yesterday? And we'll review them in a moment. But if you remember some of them in French, go ahead and put them in the chat. Quels sont des styles? covered. OK, donc, quel est ton style? J'aime porter des vêtements chics, des vêtements de tendance. J'aime porter des vêtements classiques ou des vêtements décontractés, confortables. Des vêtements trop larges, hein. Des vêtements dynamiques, hein, ou créatifs, hein. Somebody yesterday asked, how do I say baggy style, baggy style? I would say trop large is the best way to say it. There is another way to say it in French, and there is, but I prefer this one, trop large, too big, too big. Le style oversized. And so they just take the English word oversized and they just make it into a French one. But I'd rather y'all use trop large, des vêtements trop larges. There's also trop serré. Trop serré, too tight. Okay, so there's baggy and then there's really tight. Okay, donc j'aime porter des vêtements décontractés, confortables. Des vêtements décontractés, confortables. Et ça, c'est un peu dynamique, c'est un peu original, un peu créatif. J'aime porter des vêtements classiques. Donc, des vêtements classiques, un peu plus traditionnels, classiques, des vêtements classiques avec une cravate peut-être, avec des couleurs simples. Pas beaucoup de motifs. Okay, donc, j'aime porter des vêtements classiques. J'aime porter des vêtements chics. Okay, donc, des vêtements créatifs, des vêtements tendance, chic. Okay, des vêtements chics. Un peu original. Okay, donc, quel est ton style à toi? So what I'll do is, now that we've kind of looked through these, I'll go ahead and send you into breakout rooms to talk about what style you like. Quel est ton style? And so if you want to, you can take a screen cap of this. I'll go ahead and invite you all to start things like a Quizlet and a slideshow for taking notes for this unit. But for today, if you want to just take a screen cap of these different expressions to remind yourself, I'll send you into breakout rooms and I'll ask you to talk with a partner. Quel est ton style? Quel est ton style? And then you're going to respond with j'aime porter des vêtements. Okay. Any questions for me? Okay, très bien. Donc maintenant, so now I'll send you a link to look at this website, which breaks down different styles. Okay, donc regarde ce site web. Il s'agit exclusivement des styles féminins, mais essaie d'identifier le style qui te correspond le mieux. On va y retourner demain. Okay, so this website strictly talks about feminine styles, all right, and women's fashion, but we know that fashion doesn't have to be that rigid, right? It doesn't have to be like, all right, well, that's for girls, that's for boys. So take a look at this site and then try to identify, okay, well, what style best corresponds to you? And I'll ask you in a poll in a little bit. So I'll give you all a chance to read it. And then after a few minutes to kind of look through it, you're not reading it, but you're going to kind of scroll through. This is what it looks like. And les différents styles. So you've got style classique. So you've got some types of clothes. We'll come back to this, all right, to explain it. You've got images, style bohème. Again, images and types of clothes. We'll talk about these examples. Style minimaliste. Style tendance, fashionista. Style naturel, style sportif. Style dramatique ou créatif. Okay. Et puis style féminin, romantique. We could also have style masculin, right? So we could have style féminin, style masculin, if we want to talk about, okay, clothes that like really kind of amplify that kind of specific type of gender performance, okay? So I'll go ahead and send you the link and you'll just look through it. You're not reading it. You're just looking at the images and you're looking at the different styles. And then we'll come back and I'll ask you in a poll, what's your style? Okay, so here's the styles that we've got in the class. All right, a little bit of a spread. A lot of naturel, sportif, a little bit of minimaliste. Okay. So no style bohème, no style tendance fashionista, but still some folks who did féminin, romantique, dramatique, classique. Okay. Cool. All right, so yeah, so we're going to be talking about styles a little bit tomorrow to kind of get you started with this new unit. And I want to take a moment to talk about the unit a little bit. So we just wrapped up Unit 1, where we talked about introducing ourselves and the kind of activities we like to do and descriptions. Unit 2, I showed you on Canvas. You can take a look at it in the module, but I wanted to kind of tell you about kind of what we're going to be working on in Unit 2. So by the end of Unit 2, you'll be saying to yourself, hey, I can do these things in French. I can describe various outfits, talking about not just a piece of clothing like a shirt or a dress, but also talking about color, fit, fabric, all right? Talking about what you wear for different occasions. We're actually going to talk about that a little bit today. Discuss fashion cultures. So in Cameroon, there's La Sape. Here in the US, we've got a much more comfort-oriented fashion style, generally speaking. And then we'll talk about haute couture and prêt-à-porter, okay, which are different clothing products. Okay, and then we'll also learn how to use the interrogative adjective quel to ask simple questions. And so you did that in the warm-up today. Quel est ton style? What's your style? Among the choices, which one is your style? Okay, quel. And then we'll also learn how to say ce, how to use ce to talk about specific things. J'aime ce style. J'aime ce style. J'aime ce jean. I like this style. I like this pair of jeans. Okay. So using the demonstrative adjective ce. You'll also be able to follow a conversation when folks are talking about what to wear. All right. So all these things related to clothing, but also understanding how to express yourself in French. All right, so let's go ahead and watch this video. So in this video, it's going to be two younger kids. So they're in middle school and they're talking about what they wear for different situations. So let's watch it first, just to put your eyeballs on it and to kind of get you familiar with the video. And then what I'll ask you to do is to go into Canvas. You can access it from here. If you're in our class and modules, Tu portes quoi? Or, you know me, I love the calendar. I'm a fan. Tu portes quoi? So right here, you can click on it. And then that'll take you to an Edpuzzle. All right. So before we do that, let's watch it together in class to get you a sense of it. And then you'll go ahead and we'll take some time to complete the Edpuzzle once you've watched it, and you'll have a sense of how to answer some of the questions. Okay. So as they're talking, try to think about, okay, what are the questions being asked? And then how are they responding? They're talking about, I do this, all right? So let's watch it through once, and then I'll ask you to head on over to the Edpuzzle. Qu'est-ce que tu portes? Qu'est-ce que tu portes pour faire du sport?
Je porte ce t-shirt.
Je porte un caleçon,
Je mets ce short.
un t-shirt, des chaussettes
Et ces baskets.
et des baskets.
Et qu'est-ce que tu portes pour aller à une fête?
Je porte un jean,
Je prends ce pantalon.
avec un t-shirt qui brille
Et je mets cette chemise.
ou alors une robe à paillettes. et avec des chaussures rouges.
Et qu'est-ce que tu portes pour aller au collège?
Je porte ce t-shirt,
Je mets une jupe,
ce short,
avec un pull,
et ces chaussures.
mais sinon un pantalon à fleurs avec une chemise blanche.
Et qu'est-ce que tu portes pour faire du ski?
Une écharpe,
Je porte ce pantalon,
un bonnet,
je mets cette veste,
avec des moufles
et ce bonnet.
et ma combinaison de ski.
Okay. So again, you probably didn't understand every single thing, right? And the goal is not to do that. It's just to kind of get an understanding generally for what's happening. And so if you'll please go ahead and head on over to Canvas, and this will work for you when you click on it. So we'll take, let's take at least 5 minutes to do that. I'll just kind of check and see who's finished while y'all do that, and we'll bring it back and wrap it up. Okay. So again, if you weren't able to finish that during class time, please do finish that for homework. It's really just a good opportunity to expose yourself to the language and to try to understand a little bit of it. It's not about getting everything 100% right. It's just about, okay, listening and getting into the groove of this new vocabulary. So please do complete the Ed puzzle. You can find it here on the Canvas calendar. I know for some folks it wasn't working. If something is ever not working, please let me know, because I don't know otherwise. Please let me know, and it's always a good idea to send a screen cap to your teachers if something's not working with technology. Send them a screen cap via email or a Canvas message, right? Because then we know what it looks like on your end. So hopefully it'll work for most people, and for those for whom it's not working, we can work it out. For tomorrow, please go ahead and finish that if you haven't already, and then take a look at this. Just if you want to take a screen cap or something, and then that way maybe we can talk about the unit tomorrow a little bit more, and then really get into it. All right. So thank you so much for all your hard work. I hope you have an awesome day, and I will say à demain. Au revoir.